Hi, everyone. My name is Janic Gorayeb, and I am one of many ambassadors for World Values Day, and I'm joining you from London, Ontario, Canada. And today I have the lovely Kate Sullivan with us, who is joining us from Shoeburyness in the county of Essex in England. Welcome, Kate. Kate has been making animations for World Values Day. You're on your 8th year now. We're super excited to be working with you yet again. And Kate works as a freelance director, an animator, a designer, and a storyboarder. And some of Kate's clients include Sabibi's, Google, Cartoon Network, NBC, BBC Comedy, and of course, World Values Day. Kate has created 7 animations to date and working on her 8th one for World Values Day this year for 2023. We're super excited to get that and to see that. And we thought it would be really fun just to chit chat with you, Kate, and learn more about the work that you do. And I also want to mention that in her spare time, Kate is an award-winning independent filmmaker with a particular interest in experimental documentary, expanded cinema, and stereography. And so thank you so much for joining me today, Kate, and having a little chit chat about the amazing work that you do. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. What made you become an animator?
Oh, well, I've just always loved animation. Since I was very young, some of my happiest memories are watching animation and drawing. So yeah, it's just been something I've always known I wanted to do.
Is there a particular cartoon or animation that you watched as a child that really drew you in?
Well, I've always liked all different sorts of animation, but one of the cartoons I really liked was a cartoon called G-Force,
Okay.
which was a very silly cartoon. Battle of the Planets. It had an alternative name. It all gets very geeky, but it was basically a dubbed Japanese cartoon. It was excellent and very, very amazing to watch for me as a little kid living in Scotland.
It's amazing.
I suddenly started watching these amazing stories about all sorts of things, fantastical things.
Lovely. Lovely. Thanks for sharing that. And what do you love about animation?
One of the things I love is that you can create these fantastical worlds. It's very much like radio in a way. It's very economical to set things in far off places, imaginary worlds, imaginary characters. All you've got to do is draw them or make models, whatever genre of animation you're working in. But I just love it. I think it's wonderful. You get to do so many things. You get to do a bit of acting. You get to do a bit of designing, a bit of storytelling, costume design, set design, all sorts. So it's really something that if you're a generalist, you can really, really enjoy, because your day is very varied, and each project, of course, is very varied too. Yeah, so it's just wonderful. It's just so much fun.
Sounds fun. It sounds fun. What is your process to creating an animation typically?
It really depends on the animation, but for World Values Day, it always begins with a nice chat with Charles Fowler, where we brainstorm some ideas around the year's theme. And then I go away and have a little scribble, write some things down, do some doodles, show Charles and the team, and then there's some kind of, back and forth discussion again. But then once it's all signed off, I get drawing. So I create a storyboard, and then I create what's called an animatic, which is a funny word for something which is basically a storyboard cut to sound. Oh yes, and in order to get that sound, I call up my lovely friend Karina Townsend, who has the most wonderful Scottish accent.
Lovely.
And you may recognize her voice on some of the animations. She's a lovely person, and I think it really comes through in her voice. So every year I call her up and say, we'd like to do another cartoon with you, and luckily she's was free again this year. So Karina is also a sound engineer, so we always get some nice sound, technical advice from Karina as well. So I have the voiceover, then I animate the graphics, And then along comes Keris, who's the resident musician stroke sound designer. And Keris is another wonderfully talented person. And she adds all sorts of things from music to sort of squeaky sounds and things like that.
Really fun.
And yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun work. We're a lovely team. After the film is finished, I send it off. And fingers crossed everyone likes it. If not, we make a few tweaks here and there, and then off it goes into the wide world.
It's lovely. I actually recently went back and watched all of your animations that you've done for World Values Day. Even though I had seen all of them, I thought, I'm just going to go through them again. And I was trying to pick out my favorite, and I couldn't pick out my favorite. But it's really fun the way the animations come together, and like you said, all the different sounds and the different effects that you guys include in the videos is just super lovely, and always really captures the theme of World Values Day. So we appreciate that and the work that you and your team put into that. That's great. And so let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with World Values Day.
Well, it was quite a while ago now, so I can't remember the exact details, but I think it involved me being at Sheffield Documentary Festival with a film, meeting someone who then recommended me to Charles. And then I remember very clearly meeting Charles because he's such a wonderful chap, and we had a really nice afternoon talking about things. And he ended up saying, well, look, I want you to make this film. And then I was very, very happy. Once we started working, I thought this is a really lovely thing to work on. I'm really enjoying this. And then once the film was made, people tended to like it. And to my delight, I was asked back again. And yeah, but it was, it's been great fun since the start. Really has.
So much fun. And for those of you watching, you might not know the name Charles Fowler, but he is the founder of World Values Day and started this amazing movement many, many years ago, which is lovely. So are there any parts of the animations you've created specifically for World Values Day you're particularly fond of?
I mean, lots of bits have been really fun, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be one in the very first film we made, which involved a little bug being rescued. And I really enjoyed creating that sequence, because for me personally, World Values Day isn't just about something that happens once a year. It's about and about kind of big grand gestures that might, impress people on social media. It's also about things that happen in everyday life, and there may be kind of quite small things, quite small moments where you make that choice, hopefully for the better. And that's what I love about the bug being rescued. It's a decision made by a character whether or not to squish a little bug, and spoiler alert, they don't squish the bug.
Right. They save the bug. Yay. That's wonderful. Yeah. And I just want to tag on to that. You're right. A World Values Day, although it happens the third Thursday of every October, us at World Values Day, the planning committee, we're always talking about the importance of living core values every day. And that, it isn't just that one day we need to focus on it. So that's super important. So every year, World Values Day has a different theme. And this year's theme is Values Bring Us Together, which I adore. It's great. And so what about this year's theme resonates with you, Kate?
For me, it's quite meta, really, in a way, this year, the theme, because for me, the whole process of creating these films has meant that I've met some like minds, and I've met who are basically a really lovely bunch of people who are trying to create something of worth, and in our own little way, we're all trying to make the world a bit of a better place. I know that sounds a little bit, it sounds very virtue signaling, but I mean, it is a force for good, I think, what we're doing. And God, that sounds really
it's true, though. It's
important. True. But I as an animator, I work on more commercial things, shall we say, and they're not necessarily making the world a better place. They're usually selling something, or
sure.
So to work on a project like this and to meet the types of people like your good self who are involved in this sort of quest, I guess, to kind of do some good while we're on this planet. I think, I mean, that for me is a wonderful thing. So yeah, values have brought me together with lovely people, Charles, yourself, other people I've met along the way, Greener and Keris. I mean, they were already friends, but we've got together, and, you know, nice things have happened out of that. So yeah, it's just been great. It's been a lovely sort of divining rod, I think, World Values Day. Or maybe it's the wrong metaphor. It's a kind of, it's a sort of magnetic force that attracts some good stuff, I think. It's a long answer.
It's absolutely. And I love being on the monthly planning sessions with World Values Day, because you have people from all around the world that are joining kind of the movement, so to speak. And I really like this year's theme because I really find that, you know, it's helping us focus on what brings us together rather than what sets us apart, and really helps us nurture those relationships and collaboration. So I'm really loving this year's theme of values bring us together. Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us today. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel for World Values Day, please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you go back to past videos of Kate's animations and watch them. They're just so creative and so lovely, and always perfectly aligned with the theme of World Values Day. And so thank you again, Kate, for joining us, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Thanks.